Today we're highlighting another film festival coming up soon all the way in Germany, the Berlin Film Festival. Let's get to it. What is going on, everybody? Santiago here with Cinema Santi, and it is so good to have you tuning in today as we go on yet another film festival watch. Today's subject: the Berlin Film Festival. The Berlin Film Festival originally kicked off in 1951, and it is considered one of the most publicly attended film festivals of all time, averaging around 500,000 admissions a year. This year, the festival will take place from February 15th to February 25th. The festival debuts up to 400 films in categories including feature-length competition, documentary and art house, independent films, and a retrospective category showcasing classic films. With attendees from over 100 countries, it is a massive opportunity for filmmakers, producers, and industry professionals to network and seek distribution for their films across the global market this year. So in no particular order, here are the 5 movies I'm most excited for coming out of the Berlin Film Festival 2018. The first movie we have to talk about is Isle of Dogs. Wes Anderson is back in his latest feature film follow-up to the Grand Budapest Hotel, and this time he's going stop-motion animation, looking very similar to the work he did in Fantastic Mr. Fox. The story takes place in a near-future Japan in which the high concentration of dogs has resulted in outbreaks of canine flu. As a result, the government has issued that all dogs be removed from the population and exiled on an island formerly used as a garbage dump. From there, one boy sets out on a very personal quest to reunite with his canine best friend. And oh, am I excited for this one. I'm a huge fan of Wes Anderson's quirky handling of melancholy subject matter, and this premise certainly fits the bill. Anderson is also bringing back his usual cast of characters along with some new faces: Frances McDormand, Scarlett Johansson, Greta Gerwig, Bryan Cranston, Edward Norton, Jeff Goldblum, Bill Murray, Tilda Swinton, Ken Watanabe, and the list goes on and on and on. Seriously, check out the poster. Isle of Dogs is set to kick off the Berlin Film Festival before being released in the US in March of this year. And despite it being an animated film, the movie has picked up a PG-13 rating for violent images. For an animated movie, this is surprising, and I'm hoping that it doesn't keep too many moviegoers, especially younger audiences, from getting acquainted with Wes Anderson's world. But hey, I guess we have ratings for a reason. The next movie I want to talk about is called Unsane. Did you hear that Steven Soderbergh was making a movie shot entirely on iPhone? Well, that's this movie. And the Berlin Film Festival marks its world debut, where audiences will get to take it in before it is self-distributed to the rest of the marketplace this year. iPhones and self-distribution? Soderbergh is coming after the studio system one movie at a time. The movie stars Claire Foy as the victim of an obsessive stalker. Even after she moves away and starts a new life, trouble catches up to her as she continues to have more and more uncomfortable memories. Eventually, she's checked into a mental institution where she finds that she's unable to leave. Is she seeing things? Are they real? I don't know. That's why I have to see this movie. The trailer was released a little over a week ago, and at first glance, you might not even tell that the entire movie was shot on an iPhone. The quality looks amazing, the story looks intense, and nods back to Soderbergh's work on the movie Side Effects, another psychological thriller of his. The movie is playing out of competition, but I'm sure that's not gonna stop it one bit when it comes to drawing big audiences at the festival. The next movie that I want to talk about is called Museo, or Museum. It's Spanish. From Mexico, the tagline for the movie reads, "In 1985, a group of criminals mocked the security of the National Museum of Anthropology in Mexico City to extract 140 pre-Hispanic pieces from their showcases." This Spanish-language film is set up as a bit of a heist movie mixed with a coming-of-age story as 2 young men from the suburbs pull off the crime before eventually going on the run. Producing and starring in the movie is Gael Garcia Bernal, who you might have heard most recently as the voice of Hector in Disney Pixar's Coco, or seen on Amazon in Mozart in the Jungle. Gael has had a close relationship with director Alonso Ruiz Palacios for quite some time, and has been working on developing this movie with him over the past 2 years at least. So when it comes to this story, get ready for some crime, some coming of age, and some road tripping all in one movie. It sure makes for one film that I'd love to be able to see. Alright, the next movie up is called Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot. Directed by Portland, Oregon native Gus Van Sant, this movie is a biopic of Portland cartoonist John Callahan following a car accident that left him a quadriplegic at the age of 21. And it also deals with his journeys through alcoholism, rehabilitation, and discovering the therapeutic qualities of art. I like that there's a real Oregon connection here, as Callahan's dark-humored cartoons appeared in Portland newspapers weekly all the way up until his death in 2010. And Oregon native Gus Van Sant has been trying to develop his memoirs for quite some time now. Now this movie has already debuted at the Sundance Film Festival, and it did not make my list in my previous video because I could only fit 5, but it is worth pointing out here. But this movie is being shown in the feature-length competition at Berlin, so it should be one to watch. The film stars Joaquin Phoenix as Callahan and features a literal support group cast with Jack Black, Jonah Hill, and Rooney Mara. In the news, Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot has already come under some controversy for casting non-disabled actor Phoenix in a disabled role. The argument that actors with disabilities should have more access to Hollywood roles is incredibly important, and one that hasn't been commented on much from the production team. So depending on how the movie plays out, it is sure to split some audiences. The creators of the film themselves have decided to focus on details from Callahan's life pre-accident, and then mostly the rehabilitation part of Callahan's memoir, in hopes to make this movie a type of life-affirming motivational story, while at the same time being a dark comedy in the same flavor as Callahan's dark, sometimes disagreeable style of humor. So despite the reason for its growing attention, this one will definitely be watched very carefully. And the final movie that I want to talk about is called In the Aisles. A list for the Berlin Film Festival would not be complete without a German film. The tagline for this movie reads, "Christian begins to work as a shelf stacker at a supermarket and finds himself in a new unknown world. The long aisles, the bustle at the checkouts, the forklifts, and that's it." It kinda sounds like there should be a little bit more there, but it's just enough to get me intrigued. The biggest driving force for my interest in this film has got to be Sandra Hüller, who played the business-minded daughter in the odd yet energetic German film Toni Erdmann, which was nominated for Best Foreign Language Film at the 2017 Academy Awards. From the short description detailing a supermarket as some type of unknown world, I'm sure this movie will be full of awkward, funny, human moments about the transitions we make in life and how we try and figure out our place among all of it. I know I'm just pulling that pitch from a single line on IMDb, but I have a good feeling about this one. It is in the feature film competition category, and I'm sure that there is a very good reason for that. And those are my 5 films to look for coming out of the Berlin Film Festival 2018. And in some small way, it almost feels like I'm there. But not even close. Are you headed to the festival this year? Or maybe you're just doing research online like me. Either way, comment below, let me know if you agree or disagree with my picks, and let me know what films on the Berlin schedule you'd most like to catch. Thanks again everybody for watching and talking film festivals today. If you liked what you saw, give the movie a like and subscribe. You can follow me on the social medias, Twitter and Letterboxd at Cinema Santi for more film news and movie reviews. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.